Hello everybody, it's Becca at Sewed On Twisted. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to deal with some more scraps and cool ways to use them. So I'll just get that in the frame though, that helps. So I'm going to show you how to make these really cute little envelopes out of your scraps basically. So you can have them for you could put concealed paper clips on the back of them, you could stick them onto other things, which I may actually do during this video, or at the end of it at least. You can stick them onto pockets, tags, you name it. You know, they're really versatile, and they're just great to have in your stash, and as I always say, you know, sending out happy mail and that kind of thing. So yeah, we're gonna get on and make some similar to these. So what do you need? Okay, first thing you're going to need is scraps, you know, in a variety of sizes. Try to keep them proportionally similar while still being a rectangle. So, you know, doing a really long thin piece won't work. Plus, if it's really long, it's not a mini envelope anymore. So you're going to want some scrap pieces. You're going to want some bits of ephemera to decorate them with, some glue, probably some ink, some scissors. A bone folder is useful, either a scoring board or a paper trimmer that's got a scoring feature on it, or just, you know, a stylus and a ruler. It doesn't matter. But effectively, because these are all going to be like different sizes and everything, there's no specific size when it comes to the scoring, so you can just eyeball it if you prefer, you know, it's up to you. But what I say is try to, okay, so this one's at like 6.5, so if I was to take, you know, too much of that, you'd end up with a really narrow kind of opening. So if I took that down to 5.5, that's a nice little area there. And if you spin it around and do exactly the same one, you know that they're going to be equal. I know it's weird, but sometimes, I don't know, they just don't seem to be. And now you're going to measure for your top and bottom flap. Now obviously you have options here. You can have, you know, longer flap at the top, sorry, or you can have it at the bottom. You know, as long as the two overlap, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to take this one to 6 on that one, and I'm going to take it to 2.5, no, 3. I'm going to take it to 3 on that one, because that way I can be sure that I'm going to get that overlap, you see. Okay, probably could have got away with 2.5. Anyway, doesn't matter, done now. So what you're going to do is you are going to get your scissors and you are going to follow the lines on the 4 edges. So you're going to cut out that piece on all 4. So it's dead easy, really quick to do. We all know that, you know, me and scissors, we're not the best of friends, so I'm always a little bit more careful when I'm cutting something with scissors, because I'm renowned for being absolutely rubbish. I'm just going to take a little bit off of there. Okay, now you can, at this point, you can make your flaps a little bit nicer. I don't know why I did the bottom one, you're not even going to see the bottom one. But now I'm going to have to do it on both sides because, you know, balance. And obviously if you want to make your top, you know, shaped as well. I saw there was a brilliant tip when I very first started doing things for junk journaling, which to make sure that your sides are equal. It was Amanda at Journal to Inspire that I first saw do this. So you're going to take the piece that you cut off and you're going to flip it onto your other side. So it came off of that way, so we're going to take it off that way. Does that make sense? So we got it from there, we're just going to flip it and position it in the corner of that one. Okay, and then we're going to just follow that line, and that just means that you've got equal sizes there. At this point as well, if you wanted to, it is completely optional. You can get a little corner clipper, and if you fold over the side flaps, it makes it easier to get to. And you can just nick off those corners, you know, a little bit if you don't want them to be just square. So I actually did that on all of the pieces on this one because I think it just looks really cute. Okay, so we're going to just back down the sides there, fold up the flap for the bottom, we'll fold there, fold over the top flap, sorted. See, nice and easy, right? Except for I've just made it a little bit wonky where I didn't actually catch it right. See, mistakes, they happen. Mistakes are fun. They're all part of the journey. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab some ink and I'm just going to back some ink around the edges of this one. Obviously, you don't have to ink them. These will all be going into my steampunk, my new steampunk journal. Yeah, another one. Just going to get the top of that flap inked there, just so that it's not visible. And we'll just do a little bit there, just to grunge up the inside of the flap. And we'll maybe give it a little bit more on the front of there. Okay, don't need to go crazy. Then we're going to grab our glue and we're going to fold over these flaps, and then we're just going to put a little bit. Don't need a lot. You don't want it to seep over the edges, because then it will just glue your envelope shut. And yeah, we've probably all done it, you know, you wouldn't be on your own. Okay, so envelope done. So let's go through it again with another piece, just so that you guys can really get to grips with what we're doing here. Okay, scoring tool. Okay, so I'm going 1 centimetre in, and if you find it awkward over there, just turn it around and do the same thing. So it's just easy. Okay, so that's the sides, and we're going to turn it, and we're going to go to, I'm going to say, let's do 3 centimetres that way, and then I'm going to turn that and we're going to do 1.5 centimetres that way. That should be a nice little shallow top there. If you're wondering, like, how can you figure out the measurements, the easiest thing to do is to kind of look and see, okay, how much do you want? You know, do you want a really deep base and only a little bit at the top, or do you want it to go over more? You know, and then you can kind of get an idea and just kind of give it a little pinch and then put it on your scoring board and score there. So it's very, very easy to do. It looks like you're going to have to do loads of measuring, and you know, you don't have to do all that. Sometimes it's nice to just go, no, I don't need to measure everything to millimeters. I can just make something and make it quick. Okay, so there you go. That's all 4 of those clipped out again. Move that out of the way. Just give them a little fold. And so you can use your bone folder, or you can just press it down. You know, if it's paper, we don't really need a bone folder anyway, to be quite honest. Okay, so I'm just going to get my little corner clipper, and I'm just going to knock out these corners. You can obviously use a decorative punch, you know, if you wanted to. You know, more of a rounded corner, or one of the shape ones, you know, that we get. I'm going to round off the top of the flap as well, so that's, again, it's easy to do. Just fold that down so that you've got a straight line again, and just clip that off. And there we go. So get some ink on the go again. on this one, because it's white on the inside, I'm not really going to want white, so I'm just going to really lightly feather my ink pad dauber thing over it, just to get, you know, a little bit of grunge in there. You can mix it up with some browns, or you could just dirty it up with some browns, you know, whatever you want. But I'm going to go to that point there. So then again, glue, and again just a little bit. Okay, fold. Oh, I went up a little bit high there. That's fine. And there you go. That's another one done. Okay, so now we can move on to decoration. Now these can be as simple or as complicated as you want when it comes to the decorating part. Personally, I'm likely to do something like, if I grab one of these off here, I think I've done a tutorial on how to do these using some alcohol inks and stamping inks, but if not, if you can't find it on my channel, let me know and I'll do one. I do remember doing a sticker tutorial. I don't know if it was this one or not. Okay, so what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to kind of put it so that it sits like that, but I'm not going to press it all the way down, because I'm then going to take it and I'm going to tear it without losing too much of the stickiness. Oh, okay, I have to go back for that bit. Never mind. But if I just pop that down, you see, and then we'll just take that little bit as well. You could just leave that bit off, really, you know, make it look even more kind of shabby and wrecked. But yeah, I'm just going to I'll just trim off that little bit there, to make sure it doesn't stick down to the base. So yeah, I'm gonna do that because I think that looks kind of cute. And then I'll take some, you know, just random little stickers. What have we got? What have we got? I both love and hate washi tape stickers, because sometimes they just come off so easily and other times they just don't want to move at all. Okay, so I'm just gonna have that one up there so that it just kind of pokes out the side, and this little tiny teeny one, I'm setting myself up for a problem here. Oh no, that one's come off straight away. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that with that one, and I think that looks fine. I'm covered in ink. Oh, why am I always covered in ink no matter what I'm doing? I don't even have to be working with ink and I still end up covered with ink. Ugh, God. Right, so this one, let's, oh, that could be quite nice, couldn't it? I'm just going to trim off, it's just ever so slightly too wide, so I'm just going to trim that off slightly, and yeah, that'll fit now, because I want it on kind of an angle, not entirely straight. So we'll just obviously throw a little bit around there, make it look all grungy and disgusting. And obviously, you know, these things, these can apply to anything. It's just at the moment I'm working on a steampunk journal, so, you know, the things I'm making are steampunk in style. But you can make them to any style or theme that suits you. So I'm just going to pop that down on there, just give it a little wiggle, there we go. Oh, that looks fabulous, doesn't it? And then I think we'll put just a little kind of, just a little something on the top there, but nothing too kind of obvious, you know, just a little bit of subtle, which I know can be tricky. So if we just pop that on there, and if I just do a little bit of a focal thing, hopefully you can see that one. So I'm just gonna, although it's paper, that one is sticking up slightly, so I'm just gonna give it a bit of a smoosh. Okay, So that is some of them decorated as well. So at that point you can say, okay, I'm done. And you've made yourself some cute mini envelopes. You can mass make them, and they, you know, as you can see, they only take a couple of minutes even to teach how to do them. But obviously if you're just doing them, you know, or you're watching the telly or something like that, you'll knock these out in no time at all. It's just because of obviously showing, explaining takes longer. Now what you could do at this point is you could grab yourself an envelope, or, you know, I don't know which size is going to be best yet, but you could absolutely kind of organize these. It's going to need to be the bigger one, isn't it? You could kind of, you know, scatter them around on another envelope. So let's see about doing something like that. If you're not sticking around, if you just wanted to see how to do the actual envelopes, then I hope that you found them really simple to follow. And I look forward to hopefully seeing what you guys come up with, your little designs, because I always love to see what other people do in different themes and, you know, styles and colours, and, you know, using the tutorials. I do love that. I love the fact that everyone can put their own individual kind of feel on things, you know. So if you do disappear now, have a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. God knows what that will be at this point in time. For those of you sticking around, you're going to have to bear with me, because I'm basically making this up as I go. So I'm just lightly kind of tapping and brushing and, you know, just generally having a bit of a whale of a time. I might spray some alcohol ink on that. This stuff has a tendency to just go absolutely everywhere and not necessarily where you want it. It's I'm still getting the hang of using the ink sprays, because I'm used to painting. I'm not used to spraying. Airbrushing, fine, but not this. So far what I managed to make most with the alcohol inks is a mess. Right, so of course now this is going to turn into this whole big thing, you know, because I can't just do things by half measure. So I've dug out some of this trim that I think would look really nice on the edge. So I'm just going to pop some glue down on there, just to grab hold of that trim. Gonna need a fair amount actually, because this is quite a heavy trim, and I have a glue bottle with a bigger nozzle, but I forgot. Okay, stick it to my fingers, standard. Are we about? It doesn't matter if it's really even. Yes, it does. All right, so I've just noticed that's a little bit white there. Don't want that, do we? No white corners for us, thank you very much. So now, if I sort of think about where I might put these, you know, just kind of randomly but precise. And then, you know, you could kind of use some of these sentiments in amongst them, you know, or some more stickers would look really nice in the background, you know. This would work quite well, I think. This was just something I stamped onto some background paper that I printed. So we'll just grab that. You see, I'm doing this on the fly now. This you're getting behind the scenes of the let's see if it works part. That I've usually done, whatever I'm doing, I've usually done it at least once. And because most of my tutorials are requested things, so usually it's based on something I've already done. So, you know, every now and again it's like, you know what, let's just go for it and see what happens. So why the idea of live always terrified me, I think, because, you know, it's like, oh God, I'm going to try something new because my brain just runs away with me. And then what if it all goes horribly wrong? You're going to look really silly when you mess it up, Becca. So yeah, that kind of gets me. But then I think, well, you know what? I'm always telling people, you know, we make mistakes in, you know, any kind of crafting and, you know, design and everything. Mistakes are always made, so you just get on with it, find a way to fix it, or, you know, ditch it and do something else. So that's pretty much going to be how it'll go if I do decide to do a live, because I know people have been asking me, but yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so we've got another one of those in there. Let's grab one of these. Oh, well, there we go. There's always too many of these, isn't there? And some of them make absolutely no sense, like literally none. And you think, oh, these have been translated very badly. Okay, so I'll have one of those in there. And yeah, let's have a smaller one, I think. Kind of up there somewhere, maybe. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, that's going to work, isn't it? So now it's really just a case of gluing these into place. So this actually turned out to be much quicker to do this part of it than when it occurred to me to try a few minutes ago. So I'm quite relieved about that. Oh, I got glue on the back of it. Good grief, Becca. It's a good job this is a grungy one, isn't it? You hate it when you realise that you've smeared glue over the front of something and you think, oh, that's it now, it's ruined. Okay, pop that one down on there. Fabulous. Too much glue. All right, finally, last one. Oh, I've used a lot of glue apparently. Didn't realise I'd used quite so much, but the glue bottle is protesting at me, as it does tend to. All right. Well, I reckon that's, you know, that's actually come out all right, I think. Obviously, you can go further with it if you wanted to. You know, you can add more bits and pieces and really make it into a sort of, you know, a real piece. But for popping into the page of a journal, you know, and I will weather the back of that as well, but, you know, I don't need to show you how to weather the back of an envelope, really, do I? But that'll sit lovely, you know, kind of behind a belly band or in, you know, like a pocket of some sort, you know, or even with this flap glued in, you know, to the journal, and then you open it up to get to it that way. That would work really nicely too. So yeah, you have options, many options. The world is your oyster. So guys, here we go. Let's have a little close up if we can. I think we've done all right there. Stuff those out with little bits of ephemera and stuff, and they're going to look really cute. So we're done. And you probably know what I'm going to say if you're a regular to my channel. But thank you for joining me for starters. You know, thanks for crafting along with me. I hope that you've been inspired. I hope maybe you've learned something. If you've enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up, because it does really help to get my videos seen. If you haven't subscribed already, I would really love it if you would do so. If you want to see more beginner aimed tutorials, I will be doing more of some more Cricut tutorials, some more explanation tutorials, and some more advanced stuff as well. More printable creations. There's a lot more to come still, once you've caught up with the rest of what's on the channel. So yeah, I hope you stick around, and it would be really great if you'd leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and tell me, you know, if you're going to try this yourself, or if you indeed crafted along with me, and if you enjoyed it. So until the next time, guys, you take care of yourselves. Happy crafting.